Apollo 13, the successful failure.
By Ari Mandelschmidt and Mayank Chandran.
And finally, Gokul Muralidharan.
The Apollo 13 mission, part of the Apollo program, is classified as a Type H mission, which consists of precision landing with up to 2-day stays on the moon, with 2 lunar extravehicular activities or moonwalks. The specific objective of the Apollo 13 mission is number 1, to perform selenological inspection, survey, and sampling of materials in pre-selected region of Fra Maura Formation. Number 2, to deploy and activate a Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments package. Number 3, to further develop human capability to work in lunar environment. And number 4, to obtain photographs of candidate exploration sites.
On April 11, 1970, Apollo 13 lifted off for the moon with Commander Jim Lovell, Command Module Pilot Jack Swigert, and Lunar Module Pilot Fred Hayes aboard. At 5.5 minutes after liftoff, John Swigert, Fred Hayes, and James Lovell felt a little vibration. Then the center engine of the S2 stage shut down 2 minutes early. This caused the remaining 4 engines to burn 34 seconds longer than planned, and the SIVB third stage had to burn 9 seconds longer to put Apollo 13 in orbit.
During the first 2 days, the crew ran into a couple of minor surprises, but generally Apollo 13 was looking like the smoothest flight of the program. At 46 hours, 43 minutes, Joe Curran, the capsule communicator, or Capcom, on duty said, "The spacecraft is in real good shape as far as we are concerned. We're bored to tears down here. It was the last time anyone would mention boredom for a long time." At 55 hours, 46 minutes, as the crew finished a 49-minute TV broadcast showing how comfortably they lived and worked in weightlessness, Lovell said, "This is the crew of Apollo 13, wishing everybody there a nice evening, and we're just about to get ready to close out our inspection of Aquarius and get back for a pleasant evening in Odyssey. Good night."
9 minutes later, oxygen tank number 2 blew up, causing the number 1 tank to also fail. The command module's normal supply of electricity, light, and water was lost, and they were about 200,000 miles from Earth. 13 minutes after the explosion, Lovell happened to look out the left-hand window and saw the final evidence pointing towards the potential catastrophe. "We are venting something out into space," he reported to Houston. Capcom Jack Lozima replied, "Roger, we copy you venting." Lovell said, "It's a gas of some sort." It was oxygen gas escaping at a high rate from the second and last oxygen tank. The first thing the crew did, even before discovering the oxygen leak, was try to close the hatch between the CM and LM. They reacted spontaneously, similar to a submarine crew, closing the hatches to limit the amount of flooding. First Swigert, then Lovell tried to lock the recluant hatch, but the stubborn lid wouldn't say shut. Exasperated, and realizing that there wasn't a cabin leak, they strapped the hatch to the CM couch.
One of the big questions was how to get back safely to Earth. The LM navigation system wasn't designed to help in this situation. Before the explosion at 30 hours 40 minutes, Apollo 13 had made the normal mid-course correction, which would take it out of a free return to Earth trajectory and put it on a lunar landing course. Now the task was to get back on a free return course. The ground computed a 35-second burn and fired it 5 hours after the explosion. As they approached the moon, another burn was computed, this time a long 5-minute burn to speed up the return home. It took place 2 hours after rounding the far side of the moon.
The trip was marked by discomfort beyond the lack of food and water. Sleep was almost impossible because of the cold. When the electrical systems were turned off, the spacecraft lost an important source of heat. The temperature dropped to 38 degrees Fahrenheit and condensation formed on all the walls.
The most remarkable achievement of Mission Control was quickly developing procedures for powering up the CM after its long, cold sleep. Flight controllers wrote the documents for this innovation in 3 days instead of the usual 3 months. The command module was cold and clammy at the start of power-up. The walls, ceiling, floor, wire harnesses, and panels were all covered with droplets of water. It was suspected conditions were the same behind the panels. The chances of short circuits caused apprehension, but thanks to the safeguards built into the command module after the disastrous Apollo 1 fire in January 1967, no arcing took place. Lovell recalled the descent to Earth. The droplets furnished one sensation as we decelerated in the atmosphere. It rained inside the CM.
Days before the mission, backup lunar module pilot Charles Duke inadvertently exposed the crew to German measles. Command module pilot Ken Mattingly had no immunity to measles and was replaced by backup command module pilot John Swigert.
Flight Director Gernald Griffin, a man not easily shaken, recalled, "Some years later, I went back to the log and looked up that mission. My writing was almost illegible. I was so nervous, and I remember the exhilaration running through me. My God, that's the last hurdle. If we can do that, I know we can make it." It was funny because only the people involved knew how important it was to have a platform properly aligned, yet Griffin barely mentioned the alignment in his change of shift briefing. "That check turned out real well," is all he said an hour after the penmanship failed him.